I have wondered so many times, does price really matter, especially when it comes to crochet hooks? So today together, we are going to test some of what I think are more of the expensive end of the crochet hooks and a couple that are more budget friendly. But first, what are we drinking today for tea? Today's tea is my own recipe from my own garden. It's chamomile and strawberry. The chamomile I grow myself and dry. I pick the strawberries from a local you-pick farm and freeze-dried them. I steep them for anywhere from 3 to 4 minutes and add a little bit of my local honey and ready to sip. It is so good. This is one of my favorites in the evening, or for today in the morning as I'm filming this, when the last couple of days have just been really heavy and stressful and my stomach hasn't been so healthy. So I am just going to drink this to help settle my stomach and my nerves. It is so good, so good. You don't need as much honey because the chamomile and the strawberries obviously add a little bit of sweetness too. But now we get to the fun part where we're going to test all these crochet hooks and see which one comes out the winner. I will say the cheapest crochet hooks you can buy are the metal ones, but I have a lot of issues with my hands, and in order to keep crocheting I need to make sure I'm using the ergonomic handle ones. So all of the crochet hooks I have picked today are ergonomic, meaning they're not the straight metal, just because that would just be impossible for me to do this test. So obviously we won't be including all of them, and all of these are ergonomic, which also makes it, I think, a fairer test, because then they're all supposed to be easier on your wrist and hands when using. So here is the lineup of the different crochet hooks we're going to try. We have some cotton yarn, Karen cake yarn, and this one has a little bit of metallic in it, which I think is a great way to test a crochet hook. Regular worsted weight, this is from Hirschner's, and one of my absolute favorite budget friendly yarns from the Dollar Tree is this Premier Just Yarn Tweed. I absolutely love this. This is soft, it works up well, it washes well. This is one of my favorites, and for $1.50 for us here in Canada, you can't go wrong. First hook we're going to try is the Susan Bates hook, and I should mention I'm going to be using 5mm hook on all of them. That is also pretty much the most common hook for me anyway, for what I make. And again, I wanted to make this as fair as a test as possible, so I thought using the same crochet hook for everything would be best. All of these yarns also suggest a 5.0mm hook. Now, Susan Bates is the apparently be-all end-all for crochet hooks. I honestly have never used Susan Bates because they are quite pricey, but they're supposed to be amazing hooks. And this is the twist and lock. As you saw there, I just put this in and twist, and you can buy, so the kit here I bought comes with the 5mm and I think 5 and 5.5mm hooks. I will say right off the bat, this hook feels great. It's kind of a rubbery material. It's not heavy, and it's nice to hold on to, which is great if you have a lot of pain in your hands or wrist. This kit is $51. It often goes on sale though. As a matter of fact, I think as of time of filming this, this was on sale when I checked on it. But I've never tried them, so we're going to try them here. They are metal hook. First yarn we're going to try is the Loops and Thread cotton yarn, and we're going to chain. 1, 2. Okay, I'm going to just do 12 chains. Hopefully that will give me, and I'm going to do a single crochet first, see how that works. Okay, just a few stitches in. I can already tell you I'm not crazy about it. This is almost too big a handle for my hands. I'm finding it hard to hold on to, so it's turning a lot, so I have to keep bringing it back around. And it's going through this cotton yarn pretty rough. Don't know if I like it. I'm going to try one more row and we'll see what we think. Okay, so on the cotton yarn, I don't think this is the right kind of hook that you would want to use. I'm not loving it. Okay. Okay, we're going to try, let's try this actually isn't a Karen cake. I call it that because it's similar. This is actually Red Heart, one of their rolls, and it's Roll With It Sparkle. This is going on much nicer on this yarn. And of course, cotton yarn's stiff anyway, so, but it really did not like that cotton yarn, but it's gliding through this much better. I'm still having a hard time with how big it is, though. Okay. Yes, it's definitely gliding through this much, much better. On the tweed, it glides through that beautifully. It really likes this one. Definitely likes the tweed. Wow, that went through that. Really nice, very quick, no problems. Still having problems with how large it is. And then our last yarn we're going to try is just the worsted weight. Similar to the tweed in the cake there. I'd say it likes that. So, what my thoughts on this, as though it's too big for my hands, and it did not like cotton, which cotton can be difficult to work with, but I have other hooks that go through cotton a lot easier. I'm not crazy about that for the cotton, and cotton is a yarn I use a lot of, and this is just too large for me. And considering that it is neat having this lock, so essentially you're only having this and then you just have to buy these, but I don't think it's, personally, it's not worth the price point for me, so I would pass on, I would pass on these. I just don't think the lock and lock feature makes it any more desirable. So our next hook that we're going to try is one of the next expensive, and this is from Furls. Furls are a crochet hook company. I believe they were selling yarn. I don't think they are anymore, and you can get yarn bowls, different things from them. Holders to hold, stands to hold your crochet hooks. I will say this is a 4.5 millimeter because this was sold out in 5, but I really wanted to try this line because I've seen a lot of people raving about it. So I really wanted to try it. This goes for $37 if I didn't say that already, which to me is pretty expensive for one crochet hook. I certainly wouldn't call this budget friendly. This is heavy. This has definitely got some weight to it. It is very heavy. It's shiny. So we're going to see how that's going to go. They show you the letter and the number in millimeters. I really like that. A lot of companies don't do that. Some of them don't even put the darn letter or number on it. So I like that. I think so far this one is going through the cotton much better than the previous hooks. Yes, this is definitely this is going through this cotton yarn like butter. Like it is really, wow. And I thought the weight might be a problem, but I'm not finding it as heavy once I'm working with it. Now, if I work with it for a long time, is that going to be an issue? I don't know. But wow, it feels nice in the hand too. I really was skeptical about this. I really was. I'm just going to do another row just because this is going through this cotton yarn beautifully. Better than some of the other hooks I've used for cotton, honestly. Okay. So for cotton, I'd say this is a definite plus. It definitely likes that cotton yarn. Okay, how are you with the tweed? Tweed, it's the same. It goes through really nice. Glides. It's not splitting the yarn. Oh, yes. I think I am liking this hook more than I thought I would. I really didn't think I was going to like this. I just want to do a double crochet stitch. But, yeah. I think I'm convinced this is a great crochet hook. Okay. But how is it on regular worsted? Especially the slippery one that seems to be sliding off a lot of the hooks. Okay, it's working great on that too. Wow, I like this hook a lot more than I thought I was going to. Yep, that's a winner. The next hook is also a metal hook, but it's the Onyx, what do they call this? Onyx Streamline Metal Crochet Hook in matte. This is also a $37 hook. Though it's still made of the same material as our last hook, this is matte. So I wanted to see if there was a difference with the matte versus the shiny. It has the same weight, I'd say. Maybe, yeah, I'd say it's the same weight. I think it just feels different because it's matte. And this is a 5mm hook. I was able to get this in 5. So let's try on the cotton. I'm going to be honest, I wasn't expecting it to be any different than the bronze hook we just used, but it's slipperier, which shocks me because I thought being matte it wouldn't be, but it's going through the stitches fine. And it went through that cotton yarn really well. So definitely didn't mind the cotton. Let's see what it thinks of the tweed. It's going through the tweed pretty good too. Okay, nope, it went through the tweed fine. How about the worsted? I mean, they're both worsted, the tweed and this, but the tweed does have a little bit different feel, different texture. And this is casting on fine. All right. Though to be fair, it could be this yarn. It doesn't have a problem with the single crochet rather, but it doesn't seem to like, let me try a double here. I'd say it works fine on the worsted too. Honestly, this yarn is a little bit different than some worsted. It does have a little bit more of a slippery feel. It's from Hirschner's, but I wanted to try it because I have a lot of Hirschner's yarn, so that's what I'll be using. I think it worked great on all 3 of the yarns that we're testing here today. It does feel very slippery in the hands, which I wasn't expecting being matte. So that for me is a negative. I'm not liking how slippery it is in my hands when I'm using it. It is definitely heavy, like the bronze one, but very slippery. This one is wood. This one is actually called the Sage, let me get the right name here. The Sage Ombre Streaming Wood Crochet Hook. This is $30 for one hook. I did get these on sale, so I spent a little bit less, but not a whole lot less. So these are, I would think, expensive for a crochet hook. They're not the most expensive out there, but $30 for one crochet hook, I think is expensive. This is very lightweight. Like there is no weight to this at all. Just nothing. It feels like I'm holding, it's even lighter than a writing pen. So, okay, we're gonna try the cotton yarn. Cotton yarn is a good test because it's finicky. It can split, it's stiff. Okay, I'm gonna say this goes through the cotton yarn pretty darn well. I would definitely see me using this on the cotton yarn. Okay, how does it do on the cake? I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I like this yarn. I don't think it's so much the crochet hook as it is the yarn. So I don't even think I'm gonna try this. We're gonna set this one aside and we're not gonna try that with any other crochet hooks because I don't think it's a fair test because I think the yarn is not the greatest, to tell you the truth. So we're gonna try our tweed. It's going through the tweed really nice too. It is amazing how light it is. I almost think I need something with just a little more weight, but not bad. It's definitely, I can see this being a positive if you are crocheting long periods of time like I am. The weight would probably become a positive. Okay, yes, I'm going to say on the tweed, definitely worked wonderful. And our last one, our good old worsted weight, out of there. It is a little slippery. I am noticing that. As you can see, it keeps slipping right off, especially with this one. This one must be a little bit slipperier than the others. There we go. It glides through very nice once you get it on. You can start going. Okay, I think it's working well with that. So it worked well with the 3 we're going to start testing now. We're not going to be doing that other yarn. Okay, and all the furls do come in on their own little box. Our next hook we're going to try is from Clover, and I see a lot of people raving about this brand. Again, I have never tried Clover hooks. I'm not sure why. This is $16, I believe. Yes, 16, almost 17. So this is, we're getting a little bit better budget friendly. I don't think $16 is bad if it's a good hook and it's something you're going to be using a long time. I'm excited to try this one because, like I said, I have seen a lot of people raving about this. So, cotton first. Very light, I will say that. And of course, it has the ergonomic handle, which actually I like how it's flat here because I have a place for my thumb. Okay, it is actually going through this cotton. So far anyway, really nice. I see why so many people like this hook. It feels nice in the hands. It's lightweight. It has a spot for your thumb to hold if that's how you crochet. I know different people hold it differently. I like this crochet hook for the cotton. $16 is totally, I think, just for, even if you're just using it for cotton yarn, it would be worth it. That, I don't even want to stop because that goes through that cotton yarn like it's not a stiff yarn at all. Okay. Well, I'm impressed. Even if it doesn't do well on the other yarns, the fact that it did so well in cotton is a huge plus for me. It likes the tweed too. Oh my goodness, friends. I like this hook. This is wonderful. This is a great hook. That's great. I really, really like that. It's working great with the Hirschner's worsted weight too. Oh my goodness. This hook is amazing to work with. I definitely, yes. Yep. Okay, I may be converted to Clover hooks. this is a great little hook. Now, this is where I have to be honest. The next hooks are Prim hooks. I have used Prim hooks. I like Prim hooks, but I wanted to add these into the testing because I do like them so much and I do want to see how they do on the different types of yarn. These are around $11, so definitely even more budget friendly than the Clover. I like how they feel in my hands. They're made of, this here is like a silicone material. They are plastic. We're gonna see, I don't know if I've used any of the Prims on cotton, to tell you the truth. I just started using the Prims this spring, summer. So I'm fairly new to them. And you can buy these at Michael's or on Amazon. Very lightweight. I find yarn glides really well on them. I find cotton is the big test for most hooks. Okay, I'm going to say it works pretty darn well, I think, in cotton. Though, if I have to be honest, I think the Clover works better. But this doesn't work bad at all. Okay, it works great on the tweed. It glides across nice, it doesn't split it. Yep, works great on that. I have not tried it on the Hirschners. So let's see how we do on this one. I can already tell this works great. It slides across it very nice. No issues. It's not splitting it. Yep. Last hook we're going to be testing in this video. This one is very budget friendly. I have not tried these. This actually comes in a kit. I got it off of Amazon. And I'll just show you the rest of them here. So this is the kit. This whole kit, all of these. So you get size, so you got 2.5, 3, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 3.5, and a 6. All of these were $14 on Amazon. And I will link all of these down below for all of you if you would like to find them. So I think $14 for all those hooks is pretty darn good. They're very beautiful, I will say. They're quite pretty, very light. They have no weight to them at all. This is a plastic, and I'm going to say this is like an acrylic, maybe, handle, and we're going to try them. I have not tried them. I literally get them so we could try them. Right off the bat, I thought the handle would be uncomfortable because it is got like some texture, but it doesn't seem to be. It's not loving the cotton yarn, which I kind of am not surprised. I'd say it's working with the cotton comparable to the Susan Bates earlier. Actually, maybe even a little bit better, if I have to be honest. And it's very lightweight. This would be good for long crocheting sessions. Okay, I don't think it's bad with the cotton. It's just not the best that we've tried. How about the tweed? Okay, I'm going to say the tweed is not bad either. I mean, for budget friendly, very, very budget friendly. If you're just starting crochet or you have a young person who wants to start trying, I think this is a great kit to get for them to practice on and start learning crochet so you're not out a whole ton of money. I think it works pretty good. Honestly, for the price point, I don't think that's bad at all. I think it works well on the Hirschners. I say it's comparable to probably the rest of them for the most part. Yeah, I'd say that works well on that one too. I think these work really well, and considering they work out to be $1.75 a piece, I think that's pretty darn budget friendly. I forgot to mention too, they only have the millimeter size on here, not the letter, and it is on the bottom here, so you can see it. I do think anyone starting out crocheting, young or old, I think these would be great. I think they work pretty darn well, and you know, this way you're not out a ton of money if it ends up being a hobby you're not in love with, but I don't think those work too bad. So this was a very fun video to do, and it really surprised me. My favorite hook out of all the testing is very surprising. It's the Clover hook. I see why so many people rave about these. This worked on every single one of the yarns we tested, except for that disastrous cake one, but we'll forget about that one. It worked great. I loved it. It went through the cotton the best out of all of them. It went really, really well with the cotton. It just glided through. It feels great in the hands, and for price-wise, I don't think $16 is that crazy for a good hook. And I know when Michaels has their sales, you can get these even cheaper. And I believe Amazon also sells these as a set, and if I can find them, I'll link it down below. I think I know what I'm going to be putting on my wish list for Christmas from Santa. My second favorite, I think we're going to have a tie. This is what surprised me. I really thought, oh, it's going to be the Prim one that's going to win, because I've been loving using these Prim hooks all summer. But the Furls bronze one really, really surprised me. That went through the cotton really well too. It worked great. I just worry about the weight of it after a while. That's the only reason why it's second. And the Prim worked the exact same on all the yarns as the Furls bronze one did. So that's kind of why they're tied. But yeah, if I had to, you know, out of, you know, considering this is $37, that would probably maybe take it off my list, because then the Prim ones are much more budget friendly. So I guess we answered the question. More expensive price for crochet hook doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a better hook, at least with the ones that I tried today. So go ahead and save your money. That seem to do just as great as a job as the expensive ones. Like, I am very shocked, and I'm so happy with these. Definitely going to be adding more sizes of these to my toolkit of crochet hooks. As I said, this was a very fun and eye-opening, I think, for me anyway, video to make today. I really enjoyed this. I think we're going to have to try the different yarns that I'm finding too, that we now have access to here in Canada, and see if they're worth the hype. I hope you all have a great day. Be kind to one another, please. It just definitely seems to be in short supply this week, and we will see you very soon.